Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Am I the A-Hole, where I assess whether or not you are an a-hole. Court is in session. Release the media.
I know who you are. I established who you were before we even started this. I said it's going to be like taking candy from a baby.
Also, I have a small update. It works. No, I am so bored. Okay, but how fabulous is this? Like, just... Okay, let me go wash this off. I'm gonna keep it in the studio bathroom so no one can use it except me. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my stepdaughter use my daughter's wedding dress? I shall reserve judgment. I'll try my best to explain the situation and make sure to present both sides. We love a fair queen. I, 49 female, met my stepdaughter Zoe 2.5 years ago. I married her father less than 5 months ago. It was a small and private celebration, since that's what we felt was the best thing to do, since I'm still grieving my daughter Lauren, who passed away from sepsis at the age of 26. Oh, that is so sad. I'm very sorry for you. It was so sudden. She was doing okay and getting ready for her wedding that was supposed to happen the same month she passed away. Okay, we still don't know what went wrong. We were devastated, to say the least. Her fiance had a hard time adapting to a new normal. I still have contact with him. We're very close. I took most of her belongings, including her wedding dress. We bought it together and she put a lot of her touches on it. Worked hard on it. Although it hurt to look at it, I made sure it's safe. Zoe is younger than Lauren. She's 23, we're not very close, and distance is one of the reasons why. But we're very respectful toward each other. The issue started when Zoe visited to talk about her wedding in April. We were talking about wedding dresses and she suddenly brought up Lauren's wedding dress. Ooh. I asked her, what about it? And she said she saw it several times and it got stuck on her mind. Asked if she could see it and I let her. She then said she'd like to wear it at her wedding. No! No! Not allowed! I felt uneasy. I told her I wasn't sure that was a good idea. She told me it's fine, she'll have to change a few things in it so it can fit her size and style, but this is why I had a hard time accepting. Oh no, she's gotta change it too, oh. I told her I was sorry, but I can't let her have it. She offered me money, but its sentimental value is what matters to me. Yeah. She argued, saying I was making things complicated and it was all right since she too is my daughter. No, it's not. It's not all right. It's definitely not. She asked her if I don't love her as much, as I told her my love for her is different, but she threw a fit, calling me unfair and unreasonable to still say no. Her dad got invited in the argument, saying he doesn't see why I'm against it. Divorce! I declined to discuss it anymore, but they kept bringing it up and asking if my daughter would have wanted someone else to have the opportunity to wear this dress, since she unfortunately couldn't. This made me so mad, I lashed out at both of them and kept saying no. Others said I had no right to act like that. Leaving the dress in the closet when my stepdaughter can make good memories with it. But she said she's planning on changing its look. Get your own dress! Get your own! No. You cannot have it. Unacceptable. Illegal. I don't even need to know what Reddit said to agree with you that you are not the a-hole.
Okay.
But let's see what everyone else had to say. 100% not the a-hole, but everyone else in the story sure is. That's what I'm saying. The fact that both your stepdaughter and your husband are continually guilting you after you have firmly said no is just disrespectful. It is preying on your grief. That's what's up. I'm disgusted that any person who claims to love you would presume to tell you what your recently deceased daughter would want. Also, a girl can avoid having to look for another wedding dress. And the audacity to tell you that you are making things complicated. I'm infuriated for you. I'm so angry. This problem would literally not exist if they just didn't ask. Like, how do you have the audacity to ask something like that of someone else? How? You're right about what you said. My husband said that he thinks Zoe's just trying to get close to me and bond, and claims I'm not opening up to her. Well, that should have been part of her argument then. At first I'm like, okay, if she had said, you know, this would be a really great way for us to honor your daughter, your deceased daughter, and I would be honored to wear it or something like that, I would feel differently. But based on what OP said, that was not part of the discussion. But the dress shouldn't be involved in my relationship with Zoe. I don't know why he refuses to see how unreasonable they are being. It is exhausting and I can't take any more guilt tripping. I'm upset. I'm upset for you. I know why. He doesn't respect your feelings, your boundaries, or your grieving journey. I know everyone on the sub says we say to get out of there too fast, but I would ask them to go to family therapy with you ASAP. If they don't agree to giving it a shot, then honestly, I would call the lawyer. This is a hill I would die on. Someone who loves you would not hurt you like this. I agree. All right, settle down. Settle down. Reddit has dubbed thee not the a-hole.
So stupid.
Keep that dress and hide it somewhere. And also, I'm very sorry for your loss. This literally should not have even been a discussion. But yet, here we are. All right, let's lighten things up a bit. I've got a little petty for you. Actually, kind of this whole video is a little petty, so leave it to Charlotte to lighten the mood. Am I the a-hole for taking my leg off and and making someone look dumb and feel uncomfortable? I, 21 female, was in a very bad car accident about 3 years ago. A drunk driver ran a stoplight, cut off a semi-truck, which then crashed into me, sending me crashing into 2 different cars and then ultimately into an embankment. My car was mangled and my leg was crushed, completely destroyed, and it had to be amputated. Holy cannoli. Okay, I thought I was gonna like up the mood a little bit, but I'm very sorry to hear that. That is rather... I also lost a couple of fingers, the tip of one and all of another. I'm also left with some gnarly scars that used to bother me, but I'm learning to deal with them. I got a couple different insurance payouts and some pain and suffering money in addition to my medical bills being paid. With my money, I purchased a custom-made leg to take the place of the one I lost. When I have pants and shoes on, you can hardly tell unless you're really looking. I still limp, but some days I don't have as pronounced a limp. Earlier today, I went to the store with my boyfriend, my sister, her girlfriend, and our mother. I drove. I had to learn how to drive with my left foot, but I'm really good at it now. I also bought a new car with my money and had to go through a ton of therapy and get past my PTSD, but I'm doing well there now as well. I'm very happy to hear that, my dear. So I drove us, and because of my injuries, in addition to my leg, I also have chronic hip, neck, and back pain and some issues with my lungs from some time spent intubated in a medically induced coma that led to pneumonia.
Holy scheisse!
I have a handicap placard on my car. I have trouble walking without getting tired, so it really helps to park close to the door. Today I did so and unknowingly took the space from someone who was circling back around for it. Apparently the man had been looking for a close space and had missed the one I took and went down and around. He was still on the other aisle when I pulled in, so I didn't cut him off or anything, and I had no way of knowing he wanted the spot. He parked in the yellow stripe zone and got out and immediately began confronting me about stealing a space from people who actually need it. How I'm just some kid who has no respect for those who are truly sick and suffering. He then ordered me to move. My group was urging me to just walk away, but this happened before and once the police were even called. I'm sick of people saying that just because I'm young that I don't have a legit need for a little extra consideration. I said okay and went to the car and got in like I was gonna drive off. I was wearing a skirt and leggings, so it wasn't quite obvious at first, but when I sat down, I took my leg off and showed it to the man. Including my stump. I then asked him if it was okay if I still parked there. He walked away calling me disgusting and rude and said I could have just told him and I made him look stupid. He was the one that looked stupid without you doing anything. You're literally fighting over like a handicap parking spot? Like, oh God. Oh, it's just, My group was embarrassed and said I made things awkward because there was a crowd. Am I the a-hole? No. I think that people need to stop assuming that because you don't see a disability, that it's not there. Okay. But let's see what Reddit had to say. Not the a-hole, that guy made himself look stupid. This is what I'm saying. You already look stupid. My dear, you did nothing to make him look more stupid. You just put him in his place a little bit. All you did was provide the visual aid. Exhibit A. I don't have a leg. The fact that you actually had to do that to get him to screw off is like mind-boggling to me. I can't believe OP's group was embarrassed. They should have been super proud of her for taking no BS from such a jerk, especially since she said it happened before and it involved calling police. She stopped it from escalating it further this time and called out the other guy for the a-hole that he is at the same time. A win-win in my book. I agree. I feel like you need to talk to your friends and ask them to back you on something like this because that's not okay. In my books. Agree, she handled the situation and should have had a cheering section in her friends and family. This is what I'm saying. Especially after what you've been through. This is the only story shared online that ever deserves and then everyone clapped at the end. So let's do it for her. As you can probably tell, Reddit has dubbed thee not the a-hole. All right, we got time for one more, and it's a juicy one. Am I the a-hole for making a pregnancy jar? Get it, like a swear jar? My husband and I have been married for 6 years, still don't have kids. We want them, but it's still not happening. Friends and family are causing us constant stress about having a baby soon, but it's obviously something we can't control. We only wish they'd stop, but to no avail. So what I did was come up with an idea. Stupid, I know. And that is have an empty jar and call it a pregnancy jar. I carry it with me in my bag whenever I'm with friends and family, and every time someone asks about when my husband and I are gonna have a baby, I pull out my jar and ask them to drop $1 in there for asking. I'd get puzzled looks, but they reach out for their pockets/wallets and purses and pull out $1 and put it inside the jar. It actually worked because most of them stopped asking after 4 months.
That's just smart.
You're just a businesswoman. You're an
Entrepreneur.
Last week, we had dinner at my parents' house. My brother came back from his business trip that lasted a month, and while we were eating, he asked me when me and my husband were gonna have a kid. My husband paused, and I got up from the chair and made my way to where my brother was sitting with my jar in hand and asked him to drop $1 in for the question he asked. He stared at me and then laughed nervously, asking if I was being serious. Everyone was looking at us. He said no, he didn't have to pay me, but I told him that he didn't have to ask either, so here we are. I could tell he felt embarrassed, and he immediately reached out to his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and put $1 in my jar. I made my way back to my seat and sat down and resumed eating like nothing happened. It got awkward afterward. Mom pulled me into the kitchen later to tell me that I embarrassed my brother in front of his wife, and I said that I should quit acting childish by running around with a jar demanding others to put money in it, and I told her they should quit asking. She went on about how they're just worried for us since we were in our mid-30s and don't have much time left if we at least want one healthy baby. I'm pretty sure they're aware of it.
Pretty sure.
I got upset and she started arguing. My husband and I left and we haven't seen them in days, except I got a call from my sister basically siding with my mom and the others saying I'm being childish. So am I the a-hole? All right, there's some more context. We love some context. This has been going on for years, but in the past year it's gotten worse. I already told them about how I feel regarding this question. My husband doesn't care much and says I should let it go too. Yes, they pay every time because it's just $1. It won't make me any richer or them any poorer. Depends on how many times they ask, though. My husband and I spend the money on snacks to eat every night while watching TV or some toys for the dogs. One more thing, I realized that this could actually be expanded into a wedding jar/cake jar for weight loss, a work jar, house jar, and so on. Depending on the type of struggle, because these are things we struggle with and get frustrated with often. But the fact that people will just keep asking, we might become millionaires one day. Also, someone suggested I up the price to $5. It will mostly depend on the price of gas. That inflation though. It is a little petty. It's definitely petty. But considering the circumstances, like what is this, 1960? I think asking, a woman why she hasn't had kids yet, how do you know she hasn't been trying? Maybe she can't, in which case it is a very difficult issue to talk about. So don't ask. Literally don't. It's none of your business.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Mind your business. Everybody needs to mind their business, except for me. I can be in other people's business and make entertainment out of it, and you can watch. Not the a-hole. How creative. I don't have to pay you. Yeah, well, you didn't have to ask for something that's none of your business, but here we are. I swear, I didn't read that. Reciprocity is a beautiful thing, really. Not asking is free. There you go. All right. I think you're making a joke out of it, but I also think it's an effective way to get people to stop talking about it because there's consequences for actions. And clearly they need to understand that. I dub thee not the a-hole. All right, that's it. Go home. Subscribe.